So welcome to economics class on perfection. Just waiting, load this up, slideshow up, and then we're going to get started. So video should serve as a review, and then we're going to get into some new stuff towards the middle part of the video. What we're going to do is distinguish between the four main market structures and the differences. We're also going to look at number 2 here, the profit maximization rule, and how perfect competitors use it in the short run. And eventually, if we have time, we will pursue the long run to see what happens there. That's our plan. Market structures, 4 main types. We learned about these types, yesterday, I guess, at this point. One of the things that we should have made note of is that perfect competition, 3 main characteristics: many buyers and sellers, a standard product, and easy entry and exit from the industry. So that's the main thing there. Monopolistic competition. This is a service sector type of industry, and a large number of businesses with some differences among the products of the competitors and easy entry and exit of business. Product differences can be related to location, quality, or the image consumers have of each business's product. So the product is different, and that's one of the key things here. So it's in any advertising situation, you have monopolistic competition. Next, you have an oligopoly rather. There's a few businesses, and entry into the industry is selective. We see that it's in the telecommunications industry. And also we have monopoly, single business with a product with no close substitutes. So this is just a little rundown of the different types of market structures, and you can pause at any time you want to take notes down, or if it helps you to memorize things by copying them, then you can do that too. Entry barriers. Entry barriers are economic or institutional obstacles that stop potential competitors from setting up in an industry where economic profits are being made. There's a number of these types of entry barriers. One is called increasing returns to scale, which we looked at in a previous lesson, which basically says that in the long run, it'll be hard to compete with businesses that have already been in the game for a long time. So a new business will have decreasing costs, with output increasing in the long run, and new companies entering the market will have a hard time competing. So they have market experience, okay, which is relatively self-explanatory, and restricted ownership of resources. So think of De Beers in this case, who apparently, as I'm flipping through my notes here, see that they own 75% of the world's supply of diamonds. So obviously it's going to be hard for a new business to come in and take over the diamond manufacturing or distributing business, with De Beers owning so much of the market share. Legal obstacles, patents, protectionism. We talked about this before in business class as well as elsewhere. Pretty self-explanatory. Predatory pricing. This involves temporarily lowering prices to drive out competitors in an industry. It's an important term, predatory pricing. Right here, that you should keep in mind. Advertising, obviously, Coca-Cola and so on have their image, their brand, that is hard to compete with. It's established, and many people have preferences that are based on the brand. Market power. business's ability to affect the price it charges. Varies with market structure. So market monopolists, rather, have the most, and perfect competitors have the least. Least ability to affect the price it charges. We're going to look at what this means in a minute here. So here's a little graph showing the different types of businesses that you can jot down or pause or use for your study purposes. Keep it here for a second so you can view it, then we'll move forward. But basically the point here is that perfect competitors have no market power due to the large number of businesses selling a standard product, and a monopolist has a great deal of market power because it is the only seller of a product with few substitutes. Monopolistic competitors have some market power due to the differentiated products they sell, and oligopolists even more, depending on the number of businesses in a particular industry. Now, this is an important concept that I know we're moving fast here, but I want us to make sure that we are on the same page here. Perfect competitor. So perfect competition. Perfect competitor has a demand curve different from the market demand curve. The business's demand curve is horizontal at the prevailing market price. So think of the equilibrium in a, where supply and demand intersect. We're going to see a graph here, I think. Here we go. So there's supply and demand intersecting, and then the price is set here at $6. So this is the market demand of supply curve, and market demand and supply curve rather for t-shirts. Then Pure and Simple's t-shirts demand curve at 6. We can start graphing out the costs and so on, because they're gonna produce at that equilibrium. They're not gonna produce elsewhere because they're gonna have a surplus, and lower they're gonna have surplus and storages unless they produce at the equilibrium. So they're gonna produce at $6 and get this horizontal line. It's an important concept to sort of just realize that the business is going to produce here at $6, and you're going to have a horizontal demand curve. We looked at these concepts before, average and marginal revenue. So just take note of them again. I'll put that up there again for a second. Revenue conditions. Average revenue equals price. So that a perfect competitor's average revenue curve is its horizontal demand curve. Average revenue equals price. Average revenue being total revenue over quantity of output. Total revenue divided by quantity of output. Average revenue, another way of saying it, is a business's total revenue per unit of output. So marginal revenue and average revenue should always be equal. Now this is, again, this is illustrated in various ways, but important little concepts to keep in mind. An average revenue equals price, so that perfect competitor's average revenue curve is its horizontal demand curve, and a perfect competitor's average revenue or price is constant, so that marginal revenue and average revenue are always equal. Let's see how this looks here. So here we're seeing how the business's demand schedule is shown in columns 1 and 2. So here's the price and quantity, which also shows. And this table will also show that the constant values of price and average revenue and marginal revenue are identical. So this graph here shows that the business's horizontal demand curve also represents its average revenue and marginal revenue curve. Remember, we have our formulas for these various variables as listed right there. Let's trek forward rather. Profit maximization rule. The profit maximizing output rule states that profit is maximized when marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So output should be increased if marginal revenue exceeds marginal cost, and obviously the opposite holds true. I'm just going to check for time on my video here. Slide again. Profit maximization for a perfect competitor. So here we have what looks to be a confusing graph, but it's actually not. We have the point at which marginal cost, represented by the red curve, equals marginal revenue, represented by the demand curve. So if we have a quantity of 270 t-shirts, which is right here, 270 t-shirts, we simply take marginal revenue and subtract marginal cost. Marginal revenue here, and marginal cost. So marginal revenue at 270 is 6, and where are we here? Marginal cost at 6 is 10.5. Marginal cost. So the average variable cost being 1.98, and the average cost being, so total revenue here, total cost, total profit. And I think we'll stop there to, because I'd like to clarify that a little bit further, this profit maximization rule. So we'll get into this on the next video. We'll start here on the next video, and I think this video is long enough as it is. So we'll stop there, and thanks for watching. And for this video, you can just get to the profit maximizing output, and we'll start our next video looking at this graph in more detail. Thank you.